With their New Yevon must be losing it with their Praetor Barreleye missing, but it doesn't look like they want any help from the Gullwings. So here's the thing about this chapter. There are fiends everywhere, chaos is everywhere, and the leaders of the main factions are missing. Except Gipple and the Machine faction, which is where he really comes into his own this chapter. Bevel. Now you might... so Shinra's going to YOLO off down there. Look how fast he moves. You might miss it, but Buddy does come down here as well. He says, this town's still bent out of shape. Coming back here reminds me of when we were fighting against the temples. That's interesting. That kind of suggests that Buddy participated in the fights against the temples. Now, for the first time in a long time, we're not actually going to have to fight anyone. Thank Christ for that in Bevel. So confusion is spreading among the citizens of Bevel too. The Youth League must just love this. Where could Praetor Barreleye have gone? Not like a tool of the League would care, please. Youth League sympathizers slipped in during the confusion, I know it. What could they be up to? Speak of the shoe puff. The youths believe that the rumor that the Aeons have reappeared. What could have started that one, huh? So the guys of New Yevon don't even believe that Aeons are back. I guess it's getting into general public knowledge then. We're prepared for the Youth League's attack whenever it may come. Fiends and the Youth League both threaten our citizens. See, they're still thinking they're going to fight each other. The funny thing is, both Barreleye and Nuge... I mean, we heard that Nuge had come to Bevel. We never saw him here, though. Things are bad. Things are real bad. But we can't rely on the Gullwings to help us out. Pfft, mean. See, we never actually saw Nuge here. But did he come here? I mean, Barreleye said he spoke to him. But then we never... it's interesting. But, you know, both those leaders of the two factions were supposedly here together. Anyway, check it out. You want to come here... Comm spheres are perfect for a little reconnaissance. We're going to drop this in front of Bevel. But they're not actually going to let us in. Yevon's in disarray. The High Summoner should not see this. So for at least it's for a nice reason right now. But they will refuse us entry on this file. But you do want to come here to drop that comm sphere. Let's have a quick look, though, at what happens if you give it to New Yevon. Because remember what I told you guys before? That if you want 100% in one run, you should do Youth League. That doesn't mean, though, that there aren't unique things you can do if you go on a New Yevon playthrough. And actually, that enables you to do something here right at the start of Chapter 3. Bevel is pretty crazy in Chapter 3, and I cannot wait to show you guys just the extent of it. So I'll see you over on the other file. Funny enough, I let it in a scene here in the previous chapter when we come here at the end. You know, when before with Youth League we had to fight our way through. That time, they just let us take the lift. It was pretty cool.
Oh, the High Summoner! Please, forgive my rudeness.
So this time, when we arrive, it was actually a hotspot. We were actually being encouraged to come here. So once again, Shinra will drop the comm sphere, but if you talk to the people, the youth believe the rumor that the Aeons have reappeared, and there's no, like, snarky comments to us. What's better is that guy in front of the door isn't in front of the door. So let's actually see what's going on over there. And they're all sort of looking at each other and wondering what the balls is going on. And he says, Praetor Barreleye went searching for an intruder and disappeared. They're being a lot more open now. An intruder? Was that Nuge? I'm of the opinion that the Praetor is off investigating those fiends. And then bad things are happening one after the other. Are we cursed? Maybe. Maybe. I think one of the women there, if I talk to before going through the door, she's like, men are so useless. Men are really stupid. Men don't get anything done. And all it makes me think of is just like the demographic of the game. It's like, yeah, girl power. Woo! It's just full of it. It's so full of it. Maybe it's on this scene. The people are nervous and are on edge, myself included. All right. Well, relax. You can't just state how you feel. All right. She says, Lady Yuna, I'm afraid they do little besides argue. You'd best leave. Nope, we're going to come here. There's actually new areas available in Bevel as well. But here's a cool little cutscene. Remember, no Barreleye, so who do we even talk to?
Give us a straight answer. Where is Praetor Barreleye?
Do you plan on keeping this even from us?
We're not keeping anything from anybody. He's really disappeared.
Aww.
Hey, say what you want. You're not pulling the wool over my eyes. You must know what's really happened to him.
I can't tell you what I don't know. We don't have time to fight with each other. Not with the Youth League breathing down our necks.
Don't try to change the subject.
It is interesting they'd fight.
Besides, how can we hope to stand against the Youth League without the Praetor?
Find a new one.
If you still wants to play games, then we'll just have to make you talk.
It's almost like they're set up for a fight there, but...
As soon as Barreleye's gone, they're at each other's throats. Some organization. Should we do something?
Well, there aren't any fiends here.
If we butt in, things will just get worse.
True. I agree. They're just going at it. The funny thing is, there have been an awful lot of leaders. Now, there what you notice, at the end of that cutscene, you see the Kinderguardians, and then it ports you to the Celsius. But this game is trolling you. It's trolling you. You want to speak to the Kinderguardians. Go back to Bevelle. Yep. This is tricky thing number 1 that Bevelle does. Only on a new Yevon file, but that's tricky thing number 1. All right, let's take the lift this time. I don't want to do that walk 3 times in one video. No, it's not happening. This time, the people arguing in front of the door aren't there. Remember in Chapter 1, the Kindergartens were here, and we got like a little accessory from them? Well, this time, they're going to be much further away. That's right, you guessed it. We're going to walk all the way down where we, just on a whim, where we ended Chapter 2. First things first, though, take the elevator, which should be set to regular mode again, back up to where Mesa Micah sent himself. This is tricky thing number 2. You can actually now go through this door, which in the previous chapters was not a possibility. But now that takes you up here. What a cool little place this is. Look at this bridge. And this isn't for percent completion or anything, you know, totally crazy. You can get a bit more dialogue. That over there is the Praetor's lift. Ah, yes, if you would please accept this. You scored the accessory Hypno Crown. So the Praetor's lift, drive settings changed. The main lift is set to direct mode. So you'd almost think you can jump on that lift and ride it, wouldn't you? But actually, you remember at the end of Chapter 2, oh, well, yeah, sort of at the end, where we interact with the pedestals and we set it from going up to going down, the main lift in the trial room. Well, what that lift out there does, really it should just look like a pedestal as a glyph. Well, what that does is it sets it to direct mode, which we'll now see. We must send a great army to demonstrate the power of Yevon. The temples must be restored. Great army? Really, dude? I don't think that's smart. I wouldn't set in your ways. Change the destination, eh? Try taking the central lift down then. There's a place down there. Change the lift's destination too. Interesting. And then this person, the time has come to crush the Youth League and take Spear back in the name of Yevon. I heard about this interesting trivia, actually. Apparently, at some point in American history, I think it was American history, some guy proposed that you could only vote to go to war if you had forced commission. Wait, what? Why didn't that take us down there? Let's try and set it to both direct mode and to go down. Let's try that. Fiends coming from the temples. This will drive people away all the more. All right, there we go. Drive settings changed. Go down. And now let's take the lift and go down, shall we? All right. And it's now... So that's tricky thing number 2, all right? There's going to be a lot of tricky things. One of them is the most outrageous thing in the whole game, all right, for Bevelle in this chapter. Tricky thing number 1 is that it will port you to the airship, stop it being a hotspot. You have to come back. Tricky thing number 2 is secretly having that door suddenly available. But now that we're in direct mode, as you can see, we're actually at the end of the Cloister Trials. You can choose to make the walk yourself if you like, and you can actually open the chests that are down here. And the funny thing is, actually, there's some really powerful loot you can find there too. What you're seeing on this file here is my other team, the girls, where we don't have much available to us. So we've got Yuna on Festivalist, Riku, and Pain. Now, Riku is really the main carry right now as a black mage, because what she does is she multicasts Firaga, which I deliberately spent a lot of time learning. And you see how she's got auto haste and does lots of damage? Well, that's because I equipped her with that accessory, and she's poisoned Ring, which is the magic equivalent of Bloodlust. So you can see a little bit there in that fight. But yeah, if you actually walk down, you can get a couple of chests. And those chests aren't too bad, actually. I think one of them has plus 60 magic defense. It's called an Oath Veil. Also really good for fighting that first boss in Besaid. But, you know, just to give you some comparison here, plus 60 magic defense. Basically, one of the final bosses of the game drops plus 60 regular defense. All right? That's the power of that. Anyway, we're going to jump back down the hole. And I'm going to see you guys at the very bottom of the labyrinth once again. So some other stuff actually to show off while I'm here is my Yuna on Festivalist on this playthrough has actually got more stuff unlocked. So she's got more sandals. So check it out. She's got all the elemental sandals. And then below, she actually has flare sandals. Now, the idea of being able to throw some sandals and just cast flare this early in the game, whenever the hell you want, is crazy. Oh my god, and did she get the cast or was that a Firaga? I couldn't see. Is a crazy idea, all right? Except it doesn't work. As you saw, Yuna then just cast, and instead she casts Sleep. So the way that the sandals work is they always have RNG involved in them. And flare sandals, it's either flare on a really, really, really low chance, or it's like sleep or poison or petrify break or something that they're immune to, or even worse, berserk, which they're often not immune to, and just means they're going to start doing more damage to you. So the flare sandals really aren't that great. And Festivalist is best super early game, where it means you can get lucky and cast the Argas without a Black Mage. That's Riku dead. She's a huge caster. She does loads of damage, but by the same token, she also takes a lot of damage. And yes, if you're wondering, on this file, I did not go for ribbon. Didn't do it. It was too much. Too much. I didn't want to do it. What we're basically going to see with this file, guys, is when I do boss fights and stuff on this is like that more raw experience of the game, where like you have much less available, it's much harder, and it's much more mechanically draining. Which, I don't know, some people might enjoy. Of course, we get some of these chests refilled. This might even be the accessory I was talking about. I have a feeling it's in the Cloister of Trials, though. Here we go. So here's the thing, like, it takes a while to get back down here. It's like, why would any character, any player, just randomly decide, I'm coming back? What, because they're that completionist that they feel they need to get all the random remedies and stuff in the chest, of which they may already have 99 of? I mean, really, it's pretty extreme. But you do get to find here that tiny little hint of seeing the Kinderguardians in that cutscene before. The Kinderguardians have come all the way into this nightmarish room here, with the whole of Doom, which we chose not to explore down. I'll also point out, guys, in the background here, there are actually other platforms. See, we're running along this one, but if you look in the background, there are a couple more. There's 1, 2, 3 we can see right now, and they sort of circle the entire area. So it's entirely possible that any of those doorways can be accessed. All right, what's going on, kids? Tyra says, Lady Una, look, a big hole. There's a great big hole. Really? I mean, I've got to be honest. If I was a kid and I came here, I'd be very excited. Hey, there's no spheres or nothing. What gives? Really? What's going on, Passe?
This isn't a playground.
We're not playing.
Really?
We're the Kinderguardians. We snuck in to look for
To be honest, there's some
spheres.
pretty dangerous fiends around here.
Ta-da!
I'm surprised they made it. Good job, kids.
During the confusion?
Uh-huh.
There are fiends here, you know.
Fiends? The Kinderguardians laugh in the face of fiends. Ha ha!
They might eat you.
Well, I am not scared. Much.
Good job.
Hey, Lady Una, what is this place? I tried asking some of the New Yevon people, but they just ignored me.
Well, I don't think many of them know about this place either.
That's fair enough.
They wouldn't tell you even if they did.
Pain being realistic.
What's that?
Nothing. Just Gullwings talk.
Everyone you look up to and respect are liars.
I wonder if the Youth League knows.
They probably know less than New Yevon.
Then maybe I should tell them about this place.
Oh, God, what is this? So here's the thing, again. This is an actual decision. If you want a garment grid, the game rewards you. Basically, whenever you undermine New Yevon, the game rewards you. So we're going to say go for it. Yeah, tell them. Even though this is a New Yevon file where we gave it to them, you only get this option. We're gonna say go for it.
Okay, we will. Kinderguardians, move out.
See, my instinct really would have been like, no. Don't have little children talking about this
Oh, you guys take this.
terrible, scary thing. All right? Don't, well, I mean, why would you do that? But here you go. He gives us a garment grid, Blood of the Beast.
Wait till they hear this. Well, we got some grown-ups to surprise.
God. All right, so what that cutscene there, that does actually boost your completed score. It actually does. But the thing is, it doesn't boost your completed score as much as the Youth League equivalent, like exclusive scenes. So that therein lies the problem with the whole situation. Not to mention the creatures that you can only capture. So what do we get? We got Blood of the Beast. So grid imbued with the power of the Berserker. Use instinct abilities. So Berserker is another class that we're going to be finding in this chapter. Not just yet. How about, though, we head to Mushroom Rock? Let's go back to our regular save file now. I'll see you guys at Mushroom Rock when we are Youth League friendly, and we'll stay on that file for basically the rest of the chapter now. So I'll see you guys over there and see what comes up. As much as I want to say, let's do all the M's now, because we're going to be doing Mi'ihen High Road after this. Very important that we do it in that order. Or as specific as we are here. I'm not going to do Macalania and stuff for a while. But, so yeah, we land down. You want to make sure you come here. Even if you're New Yevon, because, once again, Buddy and Shinra will come down. Looks like your friendly neighborhood machine faction has got this place covered. Oh. Does that mean no money? Don't worry about me, he says. I'll head back on my own. What do you mean? You can stay with us. Hey, the Gullwings are here. The Machine Faction and the Youth League are planning a joint operation as we speak. Wait. It'll take me a few more fiends to shake me up. I'm ready for anything. Wait, hold on. You're telling me that the Machine Faction, led by Gipple, is helping out the Youth League, led by Nuge, even though Nuge is missing. Even though the Machine Faction are from Jose, where there's another temple where, in theory, there are fiends. Right? The fiends are a handful, but we're managing to hold them back. Oh, wow. Well, hello! I'm a member of the Elmer Squad here on supply duty. Hello, member of the Elmer Squad. Elmer's cool. I like her. She's interesting. So yeah, there seems to be some kind of alliance. And doesn't it seem a little scary that here, considering what happened in the previous game, where there was an alliance to do with Machina, that once again, we're seeing another one? Just a little bit scary. No? Only to me? Okay. All right. Only to me. Well, some of you guys might be happy to hear here that actually there's very little to do.
Gullwings here. Where are the fiends?
No need for concern, Lady Yuna. Everything's under control.
Oh.
The fiends got close to our headquarters, but thankfully no further. The Al-Bed from Jose assisted us in fighting them off.
So, Gipple was here?
Yes, his group also brought us these Machina. You know, he said something which still strikes me as sort of odd. He told us not to depend on you so much, Lady Yuna.
Me?
He said we need to rely on our own strength to defend Spira through the coming age.
Lady Yuna, if I may interrupt, there is something I would like to ask you.
Sure.
Okay. Alright, how's it going?
As you are probably aware, we have not heard from Maven Nuge, our leader, in some time. Lady Yuna, have you no information as to his whereabouts?
I'm sorry, but we don't know any more than you do.
I see.
If we see him, we'll tell him to return here.
Thank you.
That's kind of interesting, you know, because I don't think the game ever does this, but if you go to a different place at the start of the chapter, you actually can have more information, you can know a bit more. And basically that would mean that in that cutscene, which I know doesn't change based on the other one, that you can make Yuna into a liar, which is kind of interesting. Alright, so yeah, hail Gullwings, what do you think of our fortifications? They look badass. So this chapter, with all the fiends pouring out Jose Temple, the machine factions and hot water now too. This chapter, this is kind of like Killiker was in chapter 2. You can't come here. There's nothing to, you cannot get up to the headquarters. There's nothing for it. Here's Shinra. He says, calm sphere set, la 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 la. Gullwings go, la 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 la. Puzzling, the ambient sphere wave density here is too high. The comm sphere won't function properly. Sorry, Lucille, the fiend attacks, the Maven's disappearance, the Youth League will not last long under such strain. I can understand much better with the Youth League why they are so reliant on Nuge. Alright, now, what we're going to do next is the Mi'ihen High Road, guys. And it is thoroughly important that you enter the Mi'ihen High Road from this map. If you go from the airship, or if you go from Luca, you will miss something important. You have to come from this map, okay? So let's do it. Remember all the weird, mysterious stuff at the Mi'ihen High Road? Woohoo! Time to do some explaining. Purpurea. I want to get back my memories. I vaguely recall something red, and something sad. The red of the sun as it sets on the horizon. What happened to me in a previous life? How did I end up becoming a fiend? That's right! I was a gorgeous rose, growing in the garden of the mansion along the Mi'ihen High Road. A kind old couple lived there, and between them and their maid I was well taken care of. But one day, all that was stolen from me. Someone killed that lovely couple and set everything ablaze. No one else might remember that grand mansion, but I do. The red of the sun, the red of the fire, and the faint smell of a perfume. That's right. Before the couple was killed, I remembered smelling that same perfume. Someone was arguing with the couple. I remember now, the couple had enormous assets, and someone was after their inheritance money. Was it a young woman? Gah! Why can't I remember? This voice is ridiculous. I love that you've got a fiend here that was a rose, by the way. Very cool. Alright, ending. What am I doing with this guy's voice, oh dear? This is a good story too, don't let that butcher it. It has been many years since that day, when the flames climbed onto the red evening sky. I have returned here now to reclaim my memory. There's a new structure built at the site of the burned mansion now. That smell. Perfume? Grandma, let's go! The smell of perfume and the red sky had awoken memories within me. I'm sure of it. That old woman is the servant girl who worked at the mansion. The woman who killed me. And the master. The man that loved me. Now that I'm this fiend, the only thing I can do is... yes! Take revenge! The power of prayer has rendered me powerless. It had been several decades since that incident. Long ago, she had committed a crime, because she was blinded by her greed for an old couple's riches. But would riches she'd gained by taking the lives of others truly make her happy? Would that enormous wealth not weigh down upon her like the guilt she has felt for her crime? It appeared that for all these years, she had suffered under the burden of her guilt. The woman's bent back, a result of all the years praying, seemed to say it all. Even if I were to take revenge now, what would that change? Really? Endless days of repentance? How can I judge those that have already judged themselves? My short-lived plans for revenge had come to an end. Goodbye, me. Ah, it's the couple, the original people in the mansion. Master! So this is where you were. They never went to the far plane either. I'll be there shortly too. He sends himself. This is why I love the Fiend Tales. They build up such this immense scope of history to Spira that you don't otherwise get, that I think FFX2 does lack in many ways. Like, you get this feeling that there's a great deal of history to these places that we weren't gleaning before. But now, you know, there used to be a mansion that got burned down before the travel agency was even there. It's awesome to think of that kind of thing. I guess I'll throw this in here somewhere. The Yellow Elemental doesn't actually have a Fiend tail. This is very rare. Of the 60 Fiends in Chapter 1, only a single one of them doesn't have a tail. So there's 59 that do, aside from, you know, like humans and stuff you can get. But if you do have a Fiend that has no story, it simply says this Fiend lives to fight. So this Yellow Elemental we got from Gagazet, I literally just caught and released straight away. So it's very rare to see this, but it does exist. The Fiend lives to fight. There was no saving it.